Hello, and welcome to episode 9 of Brian's Jerky Journey. Thanks for coming back, and welcome if it's your first time. I'm your host and the place to be, the notorious Brian G. I don't know how I really feel about that. If you guys have any suggestions, if you like this or not, just let me know if that name I should just stick with. But in the meantime, that's what I'm going with until time being. Anyway, it's first Tuesday in November. It's actually election day for your local elections. If you guys have local elections going on in your town, electing from a municipal level, mayor, city council, school committee, I suggest you go out and vote, voice your choice. I know I will. And even in the case with where I live, we actually have, on the school committee side, not enough people running for there's 6 slots on the school committee. There's only 5 people on the ballot. So there's actually a couple people that are actually doing write-in campaigns in addition to the 5 people currently on the ballot. So it's actually going to be a very interesting day today to see what happens. But I haven't voted yet, but I am planning on stopping on the way home tonight to do so. But yeah, if you haven't had a chance, go out and vote. Anyway, I actually brought notes today, so I'll just kind of go off my agenda here. Nerd alert! Anyway, so so it's the first Tuesday in November. I originally actually wanted to do this on Sunday, which was All Saints Day, which is the day after Halloween, November 1st. So, and it actually kind of ties into the review that I want to do today. The jerky called Oberto, original beef jerky. The reason why I chose this brand, I've seen it for a while. I've never really grabbed it, though, because I've seen other brands that I normally eat that I've just grabbed. But I want to kind of stick to the point of where the last review that I did, trying new brands and types. So I picked this one, and it kind of had the name of it just kind of rang, and kind of hit a little close to home for me on All Saints Day, because it's basically All Saints Day is remembering those that you've lost in your life. Be preferably old, but in some cases young. And death is one of those things that's certain. And basically, my church service on Sunday, talking about All Saints Day, they talked about it was a really touching sermon. Basically, the 5 things to say to a dying person. Basically, they are as follows. The first one is, please forgive me. The second is, I forgive you. The third is, I love you. The 4th is thank you, and the last one, last but not least, is farewell. And I'm kind of in a position now where I'm older. I don't have any more of my grandparents. The name Oberto kind of reminds me a lot of my grandfathers on both my mother and my father's side. To me, my grandfathers, who in the Portuguese culture we call vovô, they just had the coolest names. So my father's name was Francisco, and my mother's father's name was Gilberto. So Gilberto, Oberto, this kind of rings a little true to those names. But sadly, I really didn't have a chance to get to know them most of my life. I lost my mother's father, my first grandparent, I lost over 30 years ago. And I was only 10 years old. And then I lost my father's father my freshman year of college, my first semester. It was a really tough year. My mother's mother actually was the first grandparent that I lost. That was actually over 30 years ago. My mother's father passed away 15 months later, and next month will actually be the 30th anniversary of that. So that's crazy. And then my grandfather on my father's side, I lost my freshman year of college, like I mentioned. That's well over 20 years ago. And then I lost my father's mother, my grandmother, who in Portuguese culture we call vovó. I lost her actually this past September, was 5 years ago. So it's been 5 years since I've had my grandparents. I know people who still have theirs. Appreciate the time that you have with them. In my case, my one big regret with my grandparents was the fact that they came over to the United States from Portugal in the late 60s. Never learned the English language, and I never learned the Portuguese language. So that's probably one of my biggest regrets, was never really learning that language to speak with them. If I could go back in time and do it, I would, and I wouldn't be kind of the outcast that I am in my family from a language speaking perspective. So both my brother and sister speak Portuguese, I don't. But anyway, I digress. So just kind of giving you guys a quick update in terms of what's been going on lately. Just trying to stay active. This past week, I actually hit mini milestone, if you will. I actually hit my lowest weight since I had I had shingles actually in April. And since that happened, I'd actually put on some weight, and the weight that I came in at on Saturday was actually the lowest weight that I've come at post shingles. So I'm still about 5 pounds away from where I was prior to shingles, and about 13 pounds away from where I was at my absolute lowest in December. And my goal really from where I am right now is to actually lose about 55 pounds to get to my ideal goal weight. But I'm trying to stay active at the gym, lifting, doing weight training, strength training, cardio, warming up with planks, battle ropes, a lot of crunches, do crunches every day. And I've actually been incorporating swimming into it. And I've actually swam 18 laps the last 2 days, but the last week I actually swam 36 laps. And through my workout today, I've actually accumulated, on a Weight Watchers perspective, from a Fit Point perspective, I've accumulated 98% of my Fitbit goal already for the week through Tuesday. So I give myself some flexibility probably the next couple of days, but during that time, I want to get my cardio in and get my swimming in. But yeah, just trying to stay true to that. Try to be good with my diet. I've been drinking a lot more green tea lately, which I've learned has something called a thermogenic effect, which requires more energy to digest, so your metabolic heart rate raises, therefore your metabolism rises. So just trying to do well with that. And from this Oberto standpoint, this is actually a bigger bag, and normally I would eat an ounce, but I actually did some strategic eating today, so it allows me to eat the whole bag and still kind of stay within my daily points. So basically kind of, oh my God, just get to the review. Anyway, so the Oberto bag still kind of follows the traditional nutritional content of your beef jerky. This one actually, from a serving standpoint, is fairly low. First and foremost, from a Weight Watchers WW perspective, it's still 2 points for an ounce serving. But this 2.85 ounce package, that's 3 servings, it's 6 points. Which is a good thing from a Weight Watchers perspective. If you don't know, sometimes when you increase the serving size and it's 2 points for 1 serving, the assumption would be, it would be 4 points for 2, 6 points for 3. Weight Watchers will sometimes look at the total consumption of the nutritional aspect, and they might inflate the number by a point. So in theory, you could look at it and say, 3 servings is 7 points instead of 6 points. Anywho, so but in this case, it's actually 6 points. So, like I said, I kind of mapped it out, and I'm going to be able to eat this whole bag today, and I'll be okay. But, standard 1 ounce size package for this original beef jerky Oberto, which, funny enough, it's got kind of a Mexican theme with the colors, but it's based out of Seattle, Washington. So, 70 calories for 1 ounces, only a half a gram of fat, no saturated or trans fats, 25 milligrams of cholesterol, 600 milligrams of sodium, 7 grams of carbs, 1 gram of dietary fiber, 6 grams of sugar, and 12 grams of protein. So let's get into it. We're already a little more 8 minutes in. Tenderness and texture. So let's open this up. I can already smell it taken out of the bag. But here's kind of how it looks right now. Tenderness. Kind of touching it right now. You can't really see it on the screen, but you can definitely. There's kind of a stickiness aspect to it. But it definitely feels fresh, even though it's sticky. But have a smell. Tell me what you think. Does it smell good? Can you smell it? It's actually a joke I saw on a food review channel. Basically, some guy was screwing around with his audience, basically saying, "Can you smell it?" And people getting pissed off at him. But anywho, so scent and smell. Like I said, when I was taking it out of the bag, I can already smell it. But taking a sniff out of it, it's definitely smells like original beef jerky. Kind of like with the chef's cut. It almost has kind of like a barbecue smell to it. But chewiness and the tenderness aspect should probably lend to the chewiness being good. So chewiness as it relates to taste. It's pretty good. I like it. It's actually got a nice taste to it. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm hungry, but I just had the green tea right before coming out here. But this is good. I was actually getting flack from my vegetarian wife about the fact that she says, you say everything's good, blah, 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 you don't say anything's bad. And I'm like, well, the first couple episodes, it's stuff that I eat on a regular basis, so I'm more likely going to be saying it's good because I eat it normally on a regular basis. But so far, so good in terms of the the last 2 reviews that I've done, the Oberto and then the God, I forget the name of the other one. The last couple ones have been pretty good. The turkey jerky was okay. I said I'm more of a beef jerky guy myself, but that and then the Chef Emblem, that was the one I did, the CVS brand one with my son in the back seat. But yeah, it's pretty good. Highly recommended. Oberto. I got this at a Target sale. So any place, like a bigger place like a Walmart or a Target, would be the place to get kind of a wider variety of beef jerky brands outside of going through your Amazon or special ordering it. But yeah, Oberto, very good. Highly recommended. I'm gonna go back to eating this bag. But just a quick update. One more thing, real quick. Overwhelming support for the Facebook page. I actually just got I just got my 100th like in less than a week since I posted it. Going back to the election aspect, I have several people in my town that are running for several offices, different offices, and many of them have just accepted my invite to like it. So they're now watching these beef jerky reviews, and some of them that have liked it today while they're waiting for polling results decide to try to entertain themselves with watching these reviews. But yeah, I set up I got the Instagram situation taken care of. You can find me on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at BG Jerky Journey. I guess Brian's Jerky Journey is a little too long from a Twitter standpoint, so I just kind of shortened it up to BG Jerky Journey. Instagram, you can find me at Brian Jerky Journey. You can like this video on YouTube, subscribe to my channel to catch past this present and future videos. You can like my Facebook page at Brian's Jerky Journey. You can like me on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter at these channels. Follow me on Instagram. And that'll do it for episode 9. So any thoughts or suggestions, please let me know what you like, what you don't like. But that'll do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed the journey and come along with me on the next one. Thanks.